Hi, everyone. I'm going to wait a minute or two because I know it takes people a couple minutes to find me over here. You should all be coming in any second. Let's see. Oh, I see three people here. You found me. Tell me who's here. I'd love to know. Hi, Robin. I see you're here. So glad you're here. Um, Hi, Lynette. I'm glad you're here as well. I'm just going to give us about a minute or two more for people to find this. So come and say hi to me if you're here. I love knowing that people are here. And oh, hi, Judy. I'm looking forward to giving you this talk. It's a huge issue for women, so I'm glad you could make it. Can everyone hear me okay? Can someone just write that they can hear me all right? Hi, Cheryl. Glad you're here. Hi, Eileen. Let's see. Um, oh, hi, Jane from Indiana. Can someone let me know they can for sure hear me okay? Just say, yes, I can hear you. Can someone do that for me? Oh, there's more comments coming in. Hi, Joy. Hi, Kathy from Orlando and Julie. We're just going to take a minute more so people could come in. Hi, Suzette. Oh, Cheryl, thank you for letting me know that you could hear me. Thank you, Judy. Arlene's here from New Jersey. So you can finally meet someone nice. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you, Eileen, for letting me know. And Cindy also, and Joy, and Carol's here from Atlanta, and Arlene. Great. I'm glad you all could hear me. All right. Thanks, Lynette. I think we're going to get started. There's enough of us here now, and they can catch up. So you guys ready? Say yes if you are. All right. So I'm so excited that you're here. And I want to welcome you to what to do when you're a good woman, but your man picker is off. I've picked some guys in my time that were not so great either. And I had to learn what that was giving me that bad man picker. I'll tell you, I once picked a guy who was an alcoholic, and my daughter could not stand him. He drove me home once having a few too many drinks, but I think he had the tolerance, truthfully. So she let my dog at the time eat his shoes. And this is part of also how you know you're not picking the right man, which we're going to talk about. And that is your kids are a great indicator of this. But once I got things really, really straightened out, and I started to pick men right because I had a great tool to do it, it made my dating life so much easier. And I know what we're going to cover tonight is going to make your dating life easier too. So before we get started, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background of who I am as an over 50s love coach and dating expert. I have been a regular contributor to both the Huffington Post, to Huffington Post Women, the Tribune News Services, and my articles have appeared on 60andMe. Even in your 50s, it's a great magazine. It's an online magazine. It's really great. 60andMe. I've also been in ARP and Yahoo and AOL, as well as Zeus, and I've appeared on ABC and Fox. And my book, The Winning Dating Formula for Women Over 50, is on Amazon, and it's a bestseller there. It has been a bestseller in its category there. And my site has been, oh, hi, Anna. I'm glad you're here. Nice to see a friendly face. So my site, findaqualityman.com, was named one of the top 5 online dating services by the Examiner. And I was named one of the 10 best senior blogs by datingadvice.com. I've also been blessed to appear on Huffington Post Live with Dr. Ruth, and my Huffington Post article about the difficulties alpha females have finding love was mentioned by Katie Couric in her interview with the Million Matchmaker, Patty Stanger, when she had a show. So I want to tell you, though, I didn't always know what I was doing. I, too, had a bad picker. And I chose this. I was in a marriage for 24 years. That was fine. I was in a relationship for 2.5 years. That was not the best picking. I honored him versus myself. I knew I didn't belong there. He was an okay enough guy, just not the right guy. And then I ended up in a 2-year marriage for one of the reasons we're going to talk about tonight. Chemistry. It's part of bad picking. And when that marriage ended very quickly, because it was all based on chemistry, I went looking for a dating coach, but nobody was helping women our age. Only these young men, yeah, like I'm going to talk to a young man about taking, all the different changes we have going on. And some young women, and I just couldn't relate. So I thought, I'm doomed. I will never have a relationship again. And I called my sister crying, and she said to me, Lisa, you're so resourceful. Just figure it out. And I did. I figured out about men and dating and how to find the right man for you. And my friends were saying, what are you doing? We can never find a date. And I gave them some tips, and they started having fun dating. And then I came across a statistic that women our age were getting divorced. Like, so many couples were breaking up. And I know how difficult dating had been for me before I knew what I was doing. And I didn't want another woman to have to suffer like I did. So I really, really do love teaching women just like you how to feel empowered in the dating game. And I loved dating. Once I felt my value and knew what I wanted and how to get it, it was like so much fun. So my passion is truly taking women step by step through the process of finding love after 50 in a way that's easy to understand, with tools and support that fit dating at this time in your life. Now, we're going to be covering some of these tools in this class tonight that are going to help you stop the insanity of picking the wrong men. We're going to be talking about the one thing you must avoid doing that keeps your man picker stuck in the cycle of getting involved with the wrong men over and over again. And there is a 95% chance you're already doing that. We're also going to talk about the number one quality you're probably using that's wrong for picking Mr. Right, and what exactly you want to do instead. And we're also going to talk about the exact strategy my clients have used to create amazing connections with men that work. And I'm going to give you 12 things to look for in a man that is going to turn that bad man picker into knowing what makes a good man a good man. And then you'll have a much better man picker. I know that when we're done with this class, you're going to just sigh, this huge sigh of relief, because you're going to know why this is happening for you and what you can do instead to choose the right man for you. Because you are really a good woman. You're a great catch. And truthfully, you deserve only the best. Now, my goal is to help you feel empowered in the dating world. And that is why I'm going to be sharing how a couple of simple shifts can take you from the heartbreak that comes from a bad man picker to finally finding love after 50 with the right man. I'm also going to be answering your questions live here. And I'll only be answering the ones here from all of you that are on the call. But I do have a favor to ask of you. It is really hard for me to come over here. You can see me doing it now. Scrolling, I see more people are here. Hi, Nancy and Liz and Sandra and Rhonda and Lana. So it's really hard for me to scroll and also talk with you at the same time. So if you have questions, what I'd love for you to do is to write them down. And when we get to the part of Q&A, I promise you I will answer them. If you put them over here right now, I'll totally miss them. So I'm also going to share a great resource with you that I know can help you find the right man. All right, so let's get started. So tell me something. Put in the comment box, this I can see, who feels they have a bad man picker or have ever had a bad man picker. Anyone here feel that way? Now I can scroll. Okay, anyone here? Is there a yes from anyone? It's okay if you are. I've been a bad man picker at times too. Well, I'm sure those will come up. So I do want to share with you, though, that not all relationships that end are because you have a bad man picker. Oh, yeah, here's some that say horrible, me, exclamation points. Yeah, we all can have those bad man picking times. But what I want you to realize is because a relationship ends, it does not mean that you are a bad man picker for that relationship. There's many relationships we get involved with where we really did have to learn something about ourselves, or we had to heal something inside ourselves. And there's more of a trend at our age also to have what I always tell my clients are practice relationships, because they really do help you figure out what it is that you want. When a guy is bad for you and you can't see it, that is when you're a bad, or you ignore it, that is when you have a bad man picker. So let's talk about what makes you a potentially bad man picker. And that could be because you're stuck. And there's two reasons that you might be stuck that keep you doing the same thing, picking the same men over and over again. The first one is going off of choosing a man by instant chemistry. Now, why does this make you a bad man picker? We all want to have chemistry with someone, right? Who wants to have chemistry? Who chooses chemistry? Put a yes in there. If you're choosing, lots of people are bad man pickers. Welcome to the club. At different times, we all are. Is anyone here like chemistry is their number one thing? I'm looking over here to see if anyone writes. Write a yes. If chemistry is like one of your number one things for choosing a man. Anyone? Well, they'll come up. Oh, yep. Some people are saying yes. Okay. So let me talk to you about chemistry and why this is such a bad man picker for you. When we have amazing chemistry with someone, like I mentioned I did with my second husband, I cried when he used to leave. The intensity of oxytocin constantly getting released, by the way, that is the hormone for bonding. So I couldn't stand it when he was away from me. And to me, he was the most amazing person in the world, because when I was around him, I always felt so amazing. And the reason I felt so amazing is because oxytocin was being released over and over and over again. And when we feel so amazing, we think we found the one. But what we have really found is lust that we mistake for love. And that is because as we're bonding, our hearts are just opening as wide as possible. But that is really the bonding hormone kicking in, and we think we're in love, and we cannot see who someone is. So let me give you an example of that. We were driving in the car. I happened to be driving, and we had our dogs in back. This is my last dog. And she had terrible arthritis, like almost from the day she was born. And we were going to a doggy chiropractor to get her an adjustment. And what ended up happening is my father called, and he's talking to us. And then my then husband talked to me really gruffly. And later in private, my dad said to me, "Does he always talk to you this way?" And I said to him, "No, I don't think so." But yes, he did. I could not see it because I was so in lust with him. Another problem is when you are releasing oxytocin, which is what we often release when we meet someone, It has this tendency to make us trust the wrong people. So when you meet someone that you don't have instant chemistry with, what's happening is you're not trusting them because you're not feeling the zing in your body. You're not feeling oxytocin getting released. And when you do get the zing in your body, then you go, oh my God, this is the one. This is the one. Does anybody get that? Does everybody get that about oxytocin and what's happening? Just want to make, oh yes, still got to kiss him, Cheryl. Yeah, it took me a long time to get over that second husband, as bad as he was for me. Does everybody understand this oxytocin, what happens to you with the trust? Let me know right here, because you do start trusting him when that hormone is released in your body. And it doesn't mean, oh yeah, you guys get it. Okay. But this is what gives you a bad man picker, because you cannot see beyond that chemistry. So what can you do instead? If you have that intense chemistry like I did, you really want to run. I know it's really hard to do, but I would have saved myself a lot of heartache, and our families, we would have saved our families a lot of heartache because they bonded together as well, had I run the other way with that intense chemistry. What you really want to do is you want to have a slow burn. So you want to give a man a chance. So I went out with this man many years ago, 4 times. After the first date, he was so excited to go out with me again. And I said yes, because he was just a really nice guy. So I went the second time, and he was such a gentleman, and I had a good time, and he made me laugh, but wasn't feeling the zing that I was used to. And he asked me again, and I said, yeah, all right. And then the 4th time came around, and I really wasn't feeling it. So I was going to get out of the date that morning. I said to him, I don't think this is working because we have different beliefs in something. I used an excuse. He said, come on, go out with me. We don't have different beliefs. First of all, he fought for me. And there is something really cool about when someone fights for you. Secondly, that day, he reached across the table and he touched my face like this. And all of a sudden, the chemistry went off. And it was appropriate chemistry. It wasn't that intensity I'd have with my second husband. So I want you to try and give a man a really good chance if you're not feeling the chemistry. And remember my story that I just told you. It took me 4 times to get that right. Okay, the second reason you just might be, oh, here's more people. Yeah, Sandra said that would have been my first love, and we got together after my divorce. I could not see it. Yes, when we have chemistry, we cannot see what's wrong. We really, really can't, because it's feeling so good. All right, the second reason you might be stuck and still using that bad man picker is because you're looking for a type of man, a specific type. Anyone here got a type? We all do. Yep. Put it in if you do. So here's the problem with your type. If your type worked for you, guess what? You would be with him right now instead of here on this call or on our class. But the problem is our type is usually the person that totally takes us out. I think we have a couple yeses. Yep, on the type. People have a type. So when you're always looking for your type, here's what happens. You go out there on the dating sites, or you go out in real life, and you're wearing blinders like a horse does in a horse race, because you are only looking for that type of man. Oh, I see a lot of people have a type. Carol and Liliana and Liz and Rhonda. Liz is laughing. Yeah. So you got the horse things on like this right here. And you can't see any other men. And it's like looking for a needle in a haystack when we're looking for our type, because we get super specific. And what happens is we can't find him. And that's why women say, oh my God, there is nobody online to date. But I guarantee you that there are men online that would be much better choices for you to date. And the way to get around that is I have every one of my clients create what's called a pattern chart. And we take a look at all the men that they have dated, usually since they were 18, for 6 months or longer. And by doing this pattern chart and doing it, writing it out, I give them a template and they have to write it out. And I had a client today just say to me, oh my God, I didn't realize all this was going on. It shows you the type of man that you're always attracted to. And then you want to, when you can figure out the patterns, these are your warning signs. This is what's giving you the heads up. Oh my God, I'm with the wrong person again. And that is one of the best ways that you can stop that bad man picker, is to recognize that you have patterns and that you can see them before you get involved with someone. Now let's talk about the number 2 reason you might have a bad man picker. And that's because a lot of women use one quality to pick a man. So those qualities are what I call perceived high value qualities. So what's a perceived high value quality? Well, it can be money, it can be looks, it can be he drives a certain car, it can be he's very athletic and works out. And what we end up doing is we take that perceived high value quality, and if a man has it, we in our heads think, oh my God, this guy is the one. Anyone have a perceived high value quality? I want you to write it down there, what it is, while I tell a quick story. I went out with a man who I thought was really spiritual. This was in my 40s. I was into this whole spiritual thing. I still am, but back then I talked about it. Today I just try and live it. And you'll see it in blogs when I say focus on, what you focus on shows up, or talk about law of attraction. But back then I was yakking about spirituality. And that was a big thing for me. So I meet this guy and I think, oh my God, he's amazing. He's a yoga teacher and he meditates. He's spiritual. He's perfect. Okay, let's see. As I'm telling this, I see some comments coming in. So, Kevin Costner type. Okay. Oh, stop calling us out. What's that mean, Carol? Oh, here, Anna, tall or dark and handsome. Rhonda, powerful. Robin, hair. Yeah, they have hair. That's a big thing. A lot of them don't. Well, mine was this spirituality. Oh, Carol says handsome and kind. So mine was this spirituality thing. And all right, so he was the yoga teacher and he was the meditator. Well, about 3 weeks into us dating, he lost his job. And he really did not have a backup plan for money. And I ended up, do not ever do this. I loaned him some money, and promise yourselves you will never, ever, ever do that, okay? Do not loan men money. I loaned him money. So thinking he's spiritual. He knows what goes around comes around, so he has to honor it. Well, we ended up breaking up with him owing me about $1,800. But I had been so blinded by that spiritual quality. Let's see, other people wrote, great physical shape. Yeah, Luba, that's a big perceived high value quality. Yeah, it is hard to do, bald and unemployed. Financially secure. Yes, Bart, that's a huge one, because we can take money and we can think a guy's perfect when he has money, and he could really be not a good guy. He could be good too. Intelligence, Angela says. Your perceived high value quality. Yeah, you got to watch that, because if he has I love intelligent men too, but you want to watch for the arrogance and narcissism. Bad boy type, Liliana says. Oh, there's lots of people here. Oh, never ever. I'm sure, Carol, that's about the money. So yeah, Liz, it was a huge mistake. So I see there's all kinds of ways here that you have a perceived high value quality too. And you have to watch out for that, because it is so easy to think he's got this one quality, he's perfect. I want you to remember that story I just told you. Instead, what I want you to do is I want to think about the values that are really important to you. Pick about 15 to 20. Values can be honesty, integrity. Those became some of my values after this situation. You can come up with values that are important to you and then choose men based on your values that he has versus choosing them on what's a perceived high value quality. You'll get a much higher quality man coming into your life. Let me just have a drink from my mega cup. And let me just check. We have one or two more comments here about a perceived high value quality. Let's see. Yeah, you learn the hard way. Yes, money. Oh, smile and teeth is a perceived high value quality. Doesn't make him a good guy, just means he has a genetic pool that's good. Makes me laugh and feel good about myself. Looks out for me, intelligent. Those are good qualities we're going to talk about, Patty. Angela, married to a narcissist. Yes, they're very difficult to be around too. And if you're, that could be a pattern that you have that I talked about before, that you're attracted to narcissists. Especially when we want to fix people, we're really attracted to narcissists. All right, so one of your jobs to do after this call or after this class, I keep saying call because they used to be on the phone, is to really get clear on your values. So you're choosing men that match your values versus having certain qualities that you think are so great. All right, so the third way that you could have a bad man picker is you are settling. And most people think they're settling because maybe a guy doesn't have enough money or he's not cute enough or whatever it is. No, you settle when you don't honor your deal breakers. So you want to really think about those deal breakers. Like, what is it that you just cannot tolerate? For me, 2, I have about 5 or 6. Some women I work with have a list like this long, and I try and get them down to 10, because if you have more than 10 deal breakers, it's going to be like, again, the needle in the haystack that you're looking for. So, but 2 of my deal breakers were smoking and also minor children. And I went out with a man who had minor children. He was a great man. I thought he was funny. He was kind. We got along great. And then I went home and I looked at my quality man template and I see blasting out at me, minor children. I had that with my second husband. My kids I already had an empty nest, and he brought minor children in who were 13 and 16. I didn't want to do that again. So I honored myself and I said to him, I'm sorry, you have a deal breaker. It's this. And I tried to get him to be my friend because he was great. And this happens a lot of times. He said, I'm too attracted to you to be your friend. If you try that with a man to be their friend, and they say some of them really are too attracted and they just can't be your friend. But you want to know your deal breakers. And you want to honor them. I had a client who said to me, I met a guy, he has a deal breaker, but he's amazing. And I said, okay, great, but you have to take the deal breaker off your list. Otherwise, you're settling. So when you don't honor your deal breakers, then this increases your bad picking whole thing going on, your bad man picking, because you're honoring him over you. Also, one other thing with this is with deal breakers is, I just lost that thought. But you are settling. We'll just leave it at that. You are settling when you don't honor your deal breakers. Okay, the fourth reason that your picker might be bad is because you're actually starting with the wrong connection to a man. So I want to share with you 4 different ways that we connect to men. One is perfect. It has the potential. Sorry about that. I knocked my microphone. One has the potential for a relationship. The other 3 do not. So let's talk about these connections. The first one is when you connect to a man through your heart and through friendship. And this is a man you love, you adore, you think he's great, but you do not have a sexual attraction to him. That's the first connection. The second connection is friendship and sex. And this is friends with benefits. And this type of connection can really hurt you because as a woman, we are bonding with men when we sleep with them because oxytocin is getting released. And if a man said, and well, since we're bonding, our heart's open. And then we think, oh, this is the one. He just might be the one. But he has set up ahead, right up front with you and said, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you. And you think he's going to change. This is why so many women who start out with friends with benefits relationships get so burned. So that relationship is friendship and sex. The next one is sex in your heart. And that's the one I have with my second husband. That is the intense, intense chemistry where you cannot really see who a man even is because the chemistry is so strong. And you want to run, like I said. So what do you want to have to see if there's potential? You want to start with the heart connection. The intimacy, I call it intimacy because as we're aging, there are more sexual dysfunction issues that come up, and you need to think about sex in a different way with some of these men. So you need the heart, intimacy, and the friendship. If you have all three of those, there is potential. It doesn't mean that he's the right one for you ultimately, but you do have the potential for a good relationship. So why this is so powerful is if I had known this when I met my second husband, I would have seen we are missing a friendship. We only have sex and our hearts are open from all that sex. And I would have said, this does not have the potential to be a relationship. All right, I want to take a look at these comments real quick because people are writing. Let's see. Carol, smoking and no job was a deal breaker. Hi, Carrie. Glad you're here. Oh, Sandra, smoking, addictive behaviors, narcissism, treating others badly, and their teeth. I got to tell you, teeth are a potential, those can potentially be fixed. Be careful of knocking out teeth. I know it's gross to look at men's teeth. They're jiggity jaggedy and brown and all that. But if they're a good guy, that stuff, there is a thing called dentures and implants and all kinds of stuff. So just be careful, although I know it's really hard to accept that. Okay, let's see. Oh, Sandra, your friends with benefits passed away 2 months ago. Yes, I'm so sorry. Diane, trouble with the phone. You see the video, but it won't click. Will there be a replay? Yes. I'm sure you probably didn't hear that, though, if you're not here. Okay, let's keep going here. Can everyone see in those connections how you might have saved yourself from getting in a bad relationship? Did anyone see in those connections how that works? Or have a question about those connections? Oh, we're back to the teeth. Ha! Liz fixed someone's teeth that cost her. You don't want to be paying for someone else's teeth, just yours. But let's go to the connections. Does everybody see how those connections could create a bad picker for you? I know it takes a minute for this to come in, so I'll have to come back over here. Let's keep going because I got a couple more things to share with you, and then I'll take your questions. Sandra, thank you for telling me that. Yes, she does get it. Use that. It's an amazing tool, and you can look back at your past relationships, and you can see exactly what was missing. All right, the fourth way that you have a bad picker. Oh, here came 3 more comments. See, it always takes a minute. Oh, we're back to teeth. Okay, Carrie and Carol, thank you. They get it too. I hope you all get it because that will save you a lot of heartache if you do get that those connections are so important. All right. The fourth reason you might have a bad picker is you think you are going to know who he is. Let me start that over. You think you're going to know who he is when you meet him versus having a clear vision of the right man for you. So in working with my clients, what I will do is say to them, so what are you looking for? Or if I talk to any woman, I'll say, what are you looking for? And they'll go, I'll know him, or he's got to be nice or cute. So these are arbitrary things. Like looking for anything, you need to have a super clear vision of the right man for you so that you can turn that bad man picker off. Because without it, you get swayed by many of the things we've talked about so far: chemistry, type, all those things will sway you. Also, all the other things. I have to go back. I'm trying to think and click at the same time. Okay, so what I have my clients do is create a quality man template. I have mentioned this before. What we do first is look at those patterns of men you're always attracted to. You need to know the patterns because this is going to be your warning signs when you're out there dating. You also need to know why you're out there dating. You need some long-term goals? Like I'll ask women, what ultimately do you want? And they really don't know. You need to know, do you want to get married? Do you want a relationship? You want to live together? You want companionship? You want to being exclusive and living apart? Know what you want, because otherwise everything else sways you. And if the man's not on the same page as you, you're wasting your time. The long-term goal you need to know, and short-term goals. So I used to have short-term goals, like I wanted a man I wanted to meet new and interesting men. I just wanted to have fun dating. And I wanted to get to know more about what it is that I really, really wanted in a man. That was important. Also, you want to be really clear, like we talked about before, your deal breakers. You don't want to walk through them. Before I knew better, I had a guy come in my life that was a smoker, and I hadn't written down anywhere, this is a deal breaker. And he was so cute and so nice. I went out with him, but it drove me crazy. I remember now, I was going to tell you before, when I was in deal breakers, you may be able to pass off a deal breaker when you first meet. But if this is something that you start tolerating, you're going to come to resent a man. And it's only going to grow bigger than life for you. And men don't change those deal breakers, nor should they have to. There are enough other men out there you should be dating, or you want to be dating, versus someone with a deal breaker. All right. You also, in your quality man template, you want to write out what I call a wish list of qualities. This is where you say, I want to go on that biking trip with a man, or I want to go on a cruise with a man. That had always been my thing, and I always got it. But you can write out a list of qualities, wish list things that you really want. And don't just list it like he goes on a cruise with me. Maybe put feelings into it, like he loves going on cruises with me and we always have so much fun. Also, values. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to really be able to know a man's values and make sure they match your own. Now, you also want to have an emotional guidance system. So most women don't think about this, but it's like, how do you want to feel around a man when you're in relationship with him? Because when you first meet and those hormones are triggering and everything feels great, you're not thinking about what's this going to be like down the road. And you want to think about, how do you want to feel? Do you want to be able to laugh? Do you want to feel like he's there for you on a bad day, or he's there to support you when things go good and things don't go so good? So I want to share with you why a quality man template is so important. It really does work. And after I worked with my client, Allie, she wrote me this, and it just makes the biggest difference, having this clear vision of the right man. So Lisa, I met a really great guy. He's thoughtful and smart and tells me he loves that he can talk with me about everything. He said he's a bit scared that he feels so comfortable so fast. He's a great guy, and I am having the time of my life. Writing my quality man template with you told the universe precisely what I wanted, and bam, he appeared. It was so incredibly helpful. Thank you doesn't begin to cover it. This is how important having a clear vision is. And this is going to help you big time with that man picker turning itself around. Okay, so let's turn this around now and talk about what you do want to be looking for in men. What is it that shows you he might be the one that you don't want to be ignoring because you were ignoring it before? So number one, you want a man that makes you smile and laugh. Life can be really tough at times. And so you want to have a guy that can help you laugh when it's rough. The second thing you want is you want a man who remembers things you say and then acts on them. Maybe you say to him, I love tulips, and he brings you tulips. It just shows you how much he really cares. Versus a bad picker kind of man is you say, I love tulips, and he goes out and buys what he wants. Now, that's about him, not about you. And that's the narcissistic guy when your bad picker is on. So you really want a guy that's paying attention to you and acts on it, like bringing you what you want, not what he thinks is best for you. You also want a man who's a supportive friend. You know, like I mentioned in my second marriage, that friendship was missing. We had tons of heart energy and tons of sexual energy, but no friendship. You need that friendship to make a relationship happen. The fourth thing you want to look for in a man is a man who keeps his word. You need a man that you can count on and that you can trust. Really think long and hard about dumping a man who's trustworthy, because they're treasures. They really, really are. The fifth thing you want to look for in a man is a man who brings out the best in you. Now, not the chemistry. This is not about chemistry. This is about he encourages you to be your best self, whether he encourages you to show your intelligence or show how much fun you are, just your quirkiness. By the way, men love your quirkiness. We go, ooh, but they do. It makes you that much more endearing to them. But you really want a man who's going to bring out the best in you and encourages that, because it feeds your soul as well, and it's good for your self-esteem. We oftentimes turn into major pretzels to accommodate a man, and we're not ourselves. I want you to find a man you can be yourself around. The sixth thing you want to look for is a man you can learn new things with. It's really important that you each have your own life and that you're growing, and that you also grow together as a couple, because what you bring individually to the table helps you grow as a couple. The seventh thing you want to look for in a man that will keep turning that bad man picker to a good man picker is he accepts you as you are. You don't feel judged by him. You don't feel like he's going to nail you for something every moment of the day. You're not walking on eggshells. You want to be with someone that just thinks you're the greatest thing ever. The eighth way to turn that man picker around is to look for a man who's fun to hang out with. You're going to have a lot of downtime with this guy, so you want to be able to have fun no matter what you're doing. Or you're going to go on vacation. Vacations can be really tough if he's not that much fun to hang out with. So you want someone that's fun, who will lift your spirits when that needs to be done, and who you could do the same for him. Also, you have a good guy when he's willing to talk over any problems. You need this capability. This is why my second marriage fell apart. We didn't have that friendship. We couldn't talk about anything because we didn't have that. So we just didn't have the capacity. And I didn't see it until much later because I was so clouded from that chemistry. You want to make sure that when issues crop up, that you have someone there that you can talk over your problems with every day. You also want someone, a good man is a man who's proud of you and what you do. He just beams with love when he introduces you to his friends, and he's so proud that you're smart, and he's so proud that you do what you do, or whatever it is you've accomplished. You want a man that's proud of you. It's really a good feeling. Another good man is one that adds to your life. Sometimes as women, we choose fixer-uppers. That is a bad man picker thing going on there. And that has to do with we don't feel lovable enough, so we pick someone that we can fix up who will love us. They don't, because they don't love themselves enough to fix themselves up. So you want a man who adds to your life. This is a good man. He enhances your life and makes the world better when he's in it. And the 12th thing to look for in a good man is he gets along with friends and family. Now, when we first came on this call, I told you about my daughter who did not like a man I was dating. And she let our dog eat his shoes. Now, that was not a cool thing. She was a teenager. She was rebelling at that time. But your friends and family many times do have your best interest at heart. And if they tell you there are things wrong that they're seeing that are not good for you, like my dad said to me, is my second husband always grumpy? That was a warning sign. You can't depend on what your friends say, because a lot of times what's good for you is not something they think is good for you. But they can see things that are bad for you when they're blatant. So you want to pay attention. And you do want a guy who fits in your life, and not only your friends and family, but your dog too, or your cat. You want someone that's going to get along with everything and everyone in your life. Okay, I'm going to answer your Q&A questions now in a minute. But first, I want to share something with you, and I want to tell you about a great resource, and then we're going to get to Q&A. So I got a letter from one of my group coaching clients recently, and she wrote to tell me she ended up marrying her forever guy. And I just got to share it with you because I get so excited when I get letters like this. So I hope you'll indulge me. And I want to tell you, the reason I'm sharing it too is she had a bad picker. And I got this letter and I thought, oh my God, this is like, I just got to share it with you so you know this is changeable. So here's what she wrote. Before working with you in your Love After 50 group coaching program, I found I was always attracting the wrong type of men. Sound familiar? They were men who never ever wanted to commit to a relationship. During our coaching calls, I recognized what I needed to focus on to get what I wanted, a good committed man in my life. And I started working on myself more in a positive way from what you suggested, and began looking at dating and life totally differently. I even got out of my comfort zone and went to a meetup by myself, thanks to the flirting skills I learned from you. And that's where I met my great guy. We started as friends, and that is a perfect way, by the way, to start as friends. That's a slow build chemistry too. But as I got to know him, I found he was a really caring man who shared my values and had the biggest loving heart. And most importantly, he fit everything on my quality man template. I've met the love of my life, and we are getting married. Every time I look at that, I get goose pimples because I'm so proud of her. And she said, I never could have done this so easily without your support. Thank you for helping me change my life. This is the difference having a good man picker makes. And right now, you're at a fork in the road, and there's a line. And you can go left, and that way takes longer, is more painful, and is actually a game of chance. Or you can go to the right and create a plan to get the man you want, who's not going to leave you high and dry. Now, I have a resource that can help you experience what I just talked about. What I'm offering to 10 women who are ready to commit to making this real in their life is a complimentary Find Love After 50 session with me. Now, I'm going to tell you this is not for you if you just want to pick my brain about a current relationship or about dating. And it's not for you if you like flying by the seat of your pants and you're not interested in creating a plan or using strategies for getting support that's going to get you what you want, which is the right guy. And it's not for you if you're not ready to invest in your love life, both emotionally and financially. But this is for you. This complimentary session is for you. If you are ready to look at where you are now, you're ready to look at where you want to go and what's getting in the way. And when we do that, after we do that, I'm going to give you some ideas and some resources on how you can make this real in your life. And I'm going to talk to you about a path forward for how you can get that love in your life, like my client Dee did, who she's getting married to. And I want to share with you how I can support you. So if this is calling to you, I want to make sure you get your session. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to put this link right here, and then I'm going to come back and read your comments. It's a link to be able to get one of those 10 complimentary sessions. You're just going to take 5 minutes, tell me about yourself. That's what the link's going to take you to. And the cool thing is you're sharing about yourself, you're actually going to get clearer on what your challenges are and what you really do want. So that when we get on the phone, we'll be able to jump in with both feet. I want to give you the most I can in the time we have. And what I'm going to do is review the questionnaires in the order I received them. And for women I honestly feel I can support, I'll get back to you to book a session with you. For the women I feel I can't support, I will politely let you know because I want to be in integrity doing this. And if I can't support you, I may give you a referral or some suggestion for what the next step is for you. But for the women who are committed and truly want to make this happen, we'll set up a complimentary session and dive in. It is truly my passion to help women who are at the end of their rope find the man they want, because I know it's possible. Dee knew that. She's getting married. It's so possible. When you have the right ideas and the right actions working for you, this can be your turning point. So I can't decide for you, but what I can say is these things I've shared with you tonight in our class are the tip of the iceberg. And for you who have seen the possibility and are ready to stop wasting time, to stop procrastinating and want to turn someday I'll find him into today I'm ready, I want to talk to you. I don't want you waiting another 2, 3, 5 years saying, where is he? Am I ever going to find love again? So I'm going to put this link down here one more time. And I have 10 sessions open, and I would love, if that sounds like you're right for this, to let me know. All right, now I'm going to take your Q&A. So I got to look through this and see what's cooking here. Yeah, chemistry, Carol, is so much fun, but so hurtful in the end. Yes, it is. Sandra just wants to date right now. That's a good way to learn about yourself, by the way. Be sure you're putting in your questions if you have any, because I'll answer them for you. Christine says smokers are a deal breaker. I'll never kiss an ashtray. Yeah, so I wanted this guy for 2.5 years. He used to go put a hoodie on and tie it up real tight because I thought he stunk. And he would go outside on the side of my garage and smoke, and then come back in and wash his face. I shouldn't have been with them. So Carrie asks, no compromise on deal breakers. That's right. You do not want to compromise on your deal breakers, because if you compromise on your deal breakers, you are not honoring yourself. And that is a huge problem. Rhonda, right on, remembers what you say. Good. I'm not sure what that was back then. I'm sorry. Liz, absolutely. Liliana, I'm a man of his word is everything. Yes, totally. Sandra, I want honesty, smile, and laugh, likes to play and tease, going to church, hardworking, partnership, helpmate, warm conversation, trust. Yes, Sandra, that is the beginning. but that is only a teeny piece of that clear vision that you need to have. You want to have a much bigger vision, like of how you want to feel around him, what you cannot tolerate, what you really want, what values the two of you shared. That's the bigger vision. Okay, Lynette, my dog peed on a boyfriend. He was right. That is really funny. Yeah. Better, let's see. Robin wrote, that's hysterical. That is. And better while we were in bed, Lynette said. Carrie, what do you think about long distance relationships if you're both willing to relocate? I think a long distance relationship is okay. Carrie, have you met this guy? It's going to take me a second, to get to that. Write that down for me because I'll have a comment about it. Barb, what is the name of your book? I'm on your offer for a free class. Oh, good. I'm glad, Barb. My book is The Winning Dating Formula for Women Over 50. Liz, I wish I had the time for me right now. Guess what, Liz? You have to carve that out. I wish you had the time for you too, because you're adorable and you should be dating. Arlene, if you have a clear vision of who you are looking for, wouldn't that prevent you from being open-minded to many different types? That is a great question. Because you have this clear vision, you become more open to types. Hang on. I was trying to lose my voice. Sorry. What happens before you have the clear vision, you actually you're only thinking about your type. When you get really clear on deal breakers, all of a sudden men fall off and go and new come back on. When you get clear on values, men fall off, more men come back on. It does work. I have so many clients say to me, I never would have found my guy or never would have seen my guy without that quality man template, which is the clear vision. Okay, Robin, and Carrie, I'm probably getting to your comment because I do want to comment on that long-term relationship. Robin, I just broke up with the man who I was friends with for 3 years. The transition didn't work because he was an emotionally abusive narcissist whose behavior became much clearer to me when we crossed that line. When we were friends and he pulled his BS, I would walk away. But as a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, it didn't work. It got worse. So one of your warning signs for you might be men that are narcissists, and we don't want to be with emotionally abusive men. So that's really, that's really important, is that you recognize you might be attracted to that type of man because you don't want to re-attract him. It was probably there, but because he was a friend, yes, you probably didn't see it so much. Stacy, men are great for the first 6 months and then they change. Actually, they don't change. What happens is I got to get back to your comment. Okay, what happens is a lot of times we as women wear what I call rose-colored glasses. And all of a sudden one day they come off. We can wear rose-colored glasses anywhere from 3 months to 18 months. And when they come off, that's when we start seeing who they really were. Also, people can sustain certain behaviors for maybe 2-3 months. They can't really for 6. It was probably always there. We just don't see it till those glasses come off. Sandra Lynn, hi, glad you're here. Joy, I just started dating someone who is a quality man. He has admitted to me that he is infatuated with me. How do I know when that phase passes? Well, you need the infatuation phase again for that 2 to 18 months because that's how you bond. But that's also a time to slow down the chemistry and the sex. Don't let it happen like in 2 seconds because you can't really see who he is. And then you're infatuated with each other from lust, not love. Ginny, hi Ginny. How can you really tell if they are trustworthy? My ex fooled me about his income, ruined my credit, probably had a girlfriend. Well, Ginny, you do know how to do a quality man template, and you are going to be doing one. And one of your values should be honesty and integrity and trustworthy. 3 of your values should be that. I do often in this group write about Julie Natasha Way, who runs a company called SD.io, and she can always look people up for you and you can get the scoop on them when you're not sure. Carrie, not in person. You might be dealing, Carrie, with a scammer if you have not met him yet. So keep writing. I have more comments, but Carrie, tell me if he tells you he's out of the country or if he tries to say he'll see you and then it doesn't happen. So let me know. I'll get back to you. Thanks for your patience. Sandra, you mean like feeling comfortable with him? Beautiful. Oh, an emotional guidance system, I assume you're talking about? No, I mean, and you can clarify if I'm not picking this up right. An emotional guidance system is just how you want to feel around him. Like, I think the beginning of my emotional guidance system starts with, I feel loved, cherished, and adored by this man in my life. And we're able to communicate really well with each other and things like that. That's what you want. And feeling comfortable with a man is important. And feeling beautiful around him is too, because we need them in many ways to give us that positive feedback. Okay, Yolanda, I think that I'm going to need therapy. Lots of brokenness. You seem to draw narcissists. So when we draw the same person over and over again, it usually comes from family of origin. And like you want to look back and see if you had parents that were narcissistic, grandparents that were narcissistic. That's usually it's parents. That's usually where it starts. And then we're looking for a guide to heal what we couldn't heal in our own relationships. Carrie, just via texting and video. Oh, so you have seen him. Okay, what is the reason that you guys haven't met? Write that down too. Okay, Robin, me too, Yolanda. I started therapy. Yeah, I work with women all the time with this, and we dive usually do inner child work to help them heal those wounds from childhood. Arlene, thank you. This is great information. You're so welcome, Arlene. I'm so glad you're here and that it's helpful to you. Robin, bingo. Okay. I hope you won the prize. Linda, oh, look at that strong arm and that heart. Robin, I saw it. Hang on. I'm having a hard time catching this comment. I saw it, but it didn't bother me. Oh, you had the guide. Didn't bother me as much as friends. I'm a giver. He's a taker. Oh, okay. So this is a huge problem for women. I want you to think about this. Usually when we overgive, it is to get love back. And because it's usually something from childhood that we didn't have enough love from a parent, maybe they were sick, maybe they were working, whatever it is. And we overgive to get love, hoping that they will feel safe enough to be with us and want to be with us. And it doesn't usually work that way. So, but who is it that will love someone that is a big giver? A narcissist. And that's why you're attracted to them. So you got to be really careful. Yeah, I used to have that narcissistic thing too. I always wanted to fix men. Not anymore, but I used to. Okay, Barb, how long to wait for a physical relationship so you don't cloud your judgment? Well, you have to encourage a man along the way, like with kissing and some messing around. But I always tell women, if you want a real relationship with a man, then what you want to do is wait to have full sex till you decide to become exclusive. That's important. It's best not to have first date sex, second date sex, third date, mess around. Like fourth, fifth, sixth date, you can keep messing further. The key is to honor yourself, not your hormones, because our hormones can fake us out. You want to honor your boundaries and what you want, because you are the prize, and a man will step up if he's a good guy for you. Sandra, you got me. Good. Mary Rachel, any advice on the best dating sites? Some people aren't even real on these sites. Still, I'm okay to pursue this way. So the dating sites, you're right, some aren't real. They are scammers, and you can usually tell because they are too good to be true. I have a ton of dating sites I recommend. They're on my site, findaqualityman.com. Take a look over there. There's in the navigation bar, it says dating sites. Those are some of my favorites. Also, I teach women how to create a dating blueprint so you have more than just dating sites to rely on. Linda Hill, how do you learn to trust again? You got to learn to trust yourself first. And you have to recognize what, having that clear vision has helped women trust again. That's been a huge thing because they feel empowered by having that clear vision of who they want, the quality man template, and recognizing the patterns, and also maybe some therapy too. I believe the narcissism stems from his childhood, not mine. But you're attracted to it for some reason. So that is possible. He could have been with narcissistic parents, but for you to be the overgiver, something in you has a need to overgive for love. Don't get mad at me for that. That's true. I used to do that. You were raised by givers. Okay, so in a male-female relationship, though, a narcissist will be attracted to you as a giver. You really want a man in your life. A narcissist is a bad man picker. You really want a man in your life who gives about 55, 60%, and you do 40, 45. Will that switch? Yes, sometimes, but he should be giving the most, or a little higher percentage. Sandra, amen to that on the sex thing. Robin, scammers don't know how to write. Yes, you're correct. They get you to the phone very quickly. Carrie, he's out of the country, but we've exchanged real snail mail, so I know that he lives where he says he does. We're friends now, but I kind of really like him. I want to be friends, but see potential mutuality, or potential mutually. Carrie, look up, it's Asti, I think it's Asti, hold on, I have to look. I'd like you to get in touch with Julie. Let me be sure this is her thing. Maybe it's Asti. No, I did it wrong. Okay, I have to look up her site again. So what I will do is here in the Facebook group, I will put that in here. I'm pretty sure it's Asti.io. Maybe that's what I spelled wrong. Asti.io.com. Let me see. So I'm going to have to look it up. I do encourage you to talk to Julie because of the fact that he is out of the country. That could be a big issue, even with the snail mail. He might be real, he might not, but it's actually better, Carrie, to be involved with men that are closer, usually within a 2-hour drive or a 1-hour flight. Yeah, Carrie, you're a widow for 7 years and new to this all over again. Yes, and so he's probably captured your heart in some way too. They're very good at that, and they listen to you. And if you go to my website, findaqualityman.com, go to blog, and then at the blog, you'll see it says categories, right? Scammers in there, and also that Dirty John, right? Both of those, do them separate, scammers and then Dirty John, because you want to look at what the signs are for a potential scammer. I'm not saying he is, but he's got some signs of it. Yolanda, what's the best way to free your mind from that 9-to-5 grind so you can relax and feel more attractive? Ooh, good question. You got to give to yourself. So one of the things I encourage my clients to do is to nurture themselves, and you can get a calendar, and every day put something on the calendar to look forward to, like you give yourself a bubble bath that day. You really have to kind of schedule it, just like you do with work. Or you're going to go meet friends that day, or you're going to go buy a book you love, or your favorite glass of wine. That's what you want to do. So Robin, I gave 150%. Yeah, that's too much. And that's why if you continue to do that, you'll continue to attract narcissists, because those are the men that love when a woman overgives. And a lot of men like it in the beginning, and then they feel smothered by it. Robin, scammers don't have command of the English language. Most of them, depending on where they're from, they don't. That's true. But there are American scammers too that could be over there. Who knows? Yes. But yeah, they do. They do not have command of the English language. And they also have English accents. And that's why we like them. Um, Liz thinks he's not real. Carrie, thanks, Lisa, a lot. Carrie, you're so welcome. Does anyone else have a question they want to ask? Also, if you want to apply for one of those 10 spots, this is the link to do that. It should come up in a second here. Oh, there's 2 new comments. So my link and someone else. Let's see. There's my link. Mary, thank you. What are your thoughts on dating services where the lady actually pays? Carrie, Mary, wait a minute. Thank you. Oh, that came up twice. Okay. Are you talking about Bumble where women pursue men? Or are you talking about a matchmaker? Or what specific dating service are you talking about where the lady actually pays? I'll wait here a second. And if anybody else has something they want to add as well, a question they have, rather, this is your chance. I'll answer any of your questions for you. So Mary, I'm hoping you will clarify that a little bit more for me. Oh, sorry, I have to take a cough drop. There's a new comment. Robin's about spotting those scammers. Yeah, they're pretty easy to spot on online dating sites now. No matchmaker like TDR. Oh, matchmakers. No, I don't know what your no means, but if you're asking about a matchmaker, paying for a matchmaker, here's the issue. Most women and men end up hating matchmakers because they do not have that clear vision of the right man for them. And the matchmaker shows them men who are not their type, and then they get pissed off and they go, oh, he doesn't have people. He just arbitrarily throws a dart to choose for me. And it's because they can't see other possibilities of men that might be a good fit. Okay, anyone else have a question? As I do my cough drop that's burning my teeth. Hang on. Sorry about that. My throat was sore. Okay. No more questions? All right. Well, I am so glad you were here. Again, if you want one of those 10 complimentary spots with me to talk about your love life, to make it better. Oh, I have a question. Here's the link is there. Let me see. I have one last question or something here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Robinmatch.com versus a free one. Is that what Mary means? Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, Mary. You got to tell us a little bit more. Suzette, when will this be available for replay? I want to revisit some portions. We'll always be here, at least for a while. It'll be here in the Facebook group. I will also put a replay link because we're going to put it on YouTube as well. None of these comments come up, so you don't have to worry about that. And I'm glad you want to revisit, Suzette. Thank you. Oh, we have more comments. Okay, Mary just said thank you. Rhonda, I prefer to date men my age, but often contacted by much older. Any suggestions how to meet men? Yes. One of the greatest ways is to get out there and go to meetups. You all heard the testimony from Dee, from who's getting married. She met her guy at a meetup. I've had other clients meet guys at meetups and get relationships with them and be in good relationships. I've had people just go into real life. You know, you can meet men at the grocery store. I know people that have gotten married from being at the grocery store. You've got to think about places where men would be, and then you have to learn how to talk to men. This is stuff I teach women all the time. Does that help you, Rhonda? Also, Eileen, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you were here. I appreciate you. Suzette, thank you very much. You're welcome. Mary, a matchmaker, more pricey than Match.com. Big money difference. Yes, matchmakers are expensive. And I guarantee there are women that hate them, like I said, because They're gonna see you in a different light, and they're gonna try and fix you up with men that are not your type. And you're gonna go, no, 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 without that clear vision of knowing the values that are important, the qualities that are important, the deal breakers that are important, you're gonna think you wasted your money. But I think matchmakers are great because they have a pool that is sometimes online, sometimes not. And they also vet for you, so you don't have to do that. Sherry, thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Sherry. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad all of you are here. You're wonderful. Suzette, what age men should a 70-year-old woman date? Well, you may get some men in their 60s and you may get some men up to into their 80s. It's what you feel is the best fit for you, Suzette. And some men in their 80s have better energy than some men in their 60s. So again, it's about getting clear on the right man so that you are feeling good and honoring what it is that you want. Kay, tell us more about meetups. Meetup.com. Meetup was founded by someone that for people to get together, and it's free for you to join. So go to meetup.com on Google, and you're going to find lots of activities. The best ones for meeting men are the happy hours for people our age, or the groups that are specifically for baby boomers and Gen Xers. A question just threw me, sorry. So that's what you want to do, is go to Meetup. Nancy, you're so welcome. Luba, yeah, that's where you go. It says dare to live your dream. Joy, men look at what they like. When you go out, see who keeps looking at you. Well, that's true, but that does not make them a good man just because they're looking at you. And that's why you have to be clear on your patterns, clear on what it is that you want. And the patterns of men you're always attracted to, so you don't do it again. Rhonda, yes, thank you. I need to make more of an effort to get out to meetups. Yeah, they're amazing. They really are. Kate, thank you. You're so welcome. All right, last call. If anybody else has a question, otherwise I'm going to put it down here. Otherwise, I'm going to go up and watch My Survivor show. Does anybody watch Survivor? I love it. Okay, new comment. Yolanda, meetups are great. Yes, they are. You are right. Okay. So last chance. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And if you would like one of those spots, here you go. Here's the link one last time. And I'm sending you all lots of love and hugs. And thank you for taking the time. And I hope this changes your bad man picker to a good man picker. Okay? Bye, everyone. Good night.